Hello everybody and welcome back to our very first farm in Farm Simulator 22. We are continuing to try to build our little homestead, farmstead, whatever it is you want to call this here, into a vast farming empire. Our ultimate goal is to build a bunch of chicken coops over here and some cow barns over there, and I think that will be the kind of end game goal for this farm. So we need to get ourselves up to the point where we're able to support all of that. Our strategy for getting that done is to cut a bunch of grass to turn that into silage, which we can use our modded Silage Factory over there to turn it into silage very quickly, and then sell that off, and then eventually we'll be able to turn all of this grass into hay to feed our cows once we get to that point. We're also trying to harvest as much wheat as we can so that we can feed the various chickens that we're going to have. I eventually would like to get it to where this entire setup over here is filled with chicken coops, which means we're going to need quite a lot of farmland to get that done. We currently own this entire block here, but that's really not going to be enough to sustain everything that we want to get done. So eventually I want to buy all of this over here. We don't have the money for that yet though, so we're going to have to continue slowly grinding our way through all of this. That said, we did harvest our annual wheat. We did our annual wheat harvest over here. Stored as much of it as we could in the chicken coop over there, and the rest of it in the silo. We currently have a 10,000. We have 10,000 liters worth of wheat in reserve to keep feeding our chickens, which won't quite last us the entire year, but it should get us pretty close. And then as we get towards the next harvest, we'll be able to, have to buy a couple of pallets of wheat to get that done. So I think what we're going to do is that when we're ready to plant our wheat again, we're going to do one more field in wheat. Since it is an irregular shaped field, I think I'd kind of like to go ahead and do that. We'll take this 48 and turn it into wheat, and these 4 fields here should be enough to feed this one chicken coop. And then we'll just keep these 3 fields as grass to try to make as much silage as we can. Now, as you can see, the grass is ready to harvest now, so we're going to go ahead and hop into our tractor here. We have to wait until September before we can replant our wheat again. So there isn't really anything that we can do there. Our eggs are fully sold and ready to be done with that. So all we have to do right now is to grab our tractor, get our grass mowed for this season. I believe we should be able to get one more cut in after this one before the end of the year, and then we can sell all of our silage. If you're just joining the series, I do have this rather complicated setup for our mowing. Let's see. We have a full-on mower setup in the front. This is a modded lawnmower setup that allows us to attach that front piece that would normally be attached to the front of your tractor to the front of the actual side mower pieces, so I can get all of that in the front of my tractor rather than having to have part of it in the front and part of it in the back. The purpose of that is it allows us to have other equipment back here. We have a fast working baler that will turn the grass that we cut from here into bales, and then the bales get dropped into the trailer. And as a matter of fact, while we're sitting here, I'm going to remember to drop that arm down so we don't forget. Let's go ahead and get everything lowered. Okay, everything is lowered, and let's go ahead and get started on cutting our grass here. Go ahead and do this in first person. Well, no, I want to be able to see and make sure I'm not missing anything. It's kind of hard to tell where you're cutting when you're in first person view. Once we are able to get onto the back and forth GPS part, then we'll set up for I do have a GPS steering equipped for this farm. We'll get that set up here in a minute. I just want to get some room around the fields so I have that space to kind of turn around and not have to worry about hitting telephone poles or the trees on the other end over there. We've fully set up with our grass over there, so that's going to be good. I'm going to get over here and turn around so that we can get this. Oops, I knew I was going to get stuck. This is the only drawback to this particular setup is that if you turn too sharply, the equipment gets stuck, and it takes a second to get out of it. So that's quite annoying, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. We'll go all the way back around and do a couple of passes back that way. And then after we're done with this, in September, we'll go through and turn that field over there into a wheat field, because we're going to need that extra wheat. It's rather expensive to buy the wheat pallets, and I'd rather not have to do that. So if we can produce our own feed for the chickens, that's going to make our lives a lot easier. As you can see, we did have a bale come off the baler and go into the trailer. So that's why I have the setup the way I have it, so that we can do one pass of everything and get all of our repetitive stuff done in one pass, which I really like to do. So I think what we actually want to do is just go back and forth this way, because I think that might make life a little bit easier. But I'm still going to put a couple of headland passes over here, because I don't like going up this hill into the railroad track. It's very, very much a pain in the rear to try to turn around on this hill here. So we'll go back and forth twice here, and then we'll start doing some back and forth stuff. We'll get our GPS set up so that we can get maximum efficiency in our passes, and that will make our lives just that much easier. So I'm going to give myself some room to kind of turn around here, hopefully not get stuck on my equipment. There we go. Cool. So, we'll finish this little pass here. We'll get ourselves turned around and start doing some passes back and forth that way. So give me just a second to get turned around here. So this right here is why we don't want to turn around like that, because... Ugh. Okay, that's the second time I've had a bale come off and it didn't get wrapped. I'm curious to know why that's a thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get our GPS set up. We're going to put it in heading mode. We're going to set the heading to... What direction are we facing now? We need to be going north and south, so we're going to set the heading to 0. We're going to disconnect our baler, because that has a wider working width than our mower, because of the mod that is attached to it. Let's get our lines set up properly. We'll reattach that. Let's see. Let's get that turned off. Or hold on. Second. Okay. We'll get everything turned back on. We'll get the GPS steering turned on. We'll get our cruise control turned on, and we're going to start doing some back and forth passes. So, yeah, I just need to remember this next time, that we're going to be doing the directions this way rather than the other way, because our headland passes need to be on that side and on this, well, sort of on this side. I mean, eventually this is going to be wheat, so definitely going to have some headland passes right here. I have crop destruction turned off, but I still try to behave as if it's not, because, you know, while I don't want to have any accidental mistakes that cause me to do something dumb, sometimes they happen, and having that turned off is, you know, it makes life a little bit easier. So we're just going to go back and forth. As you can see, I'm skipping rows because of the relatively ridiculous turn radius for this setup that I have here, but we're going to go all the way down to the end, and then we're going to come all the way back. I will bring you guys back once we're done with the first pass off in that direction, so you can see the nice, neat rows of alternating growth and harvest. So see you guys in just a minute. Alright, and as I do for every one of these episodes, I bring you back to see the nice, neat rows of stripes over here. So this is kind of how we end up doing this. We're going to come over here and do a little bit of a whatever looping that we have to do to get back on to the correct process. I think that the reason why some of our bales end up being weird like that is because different materials. I think the material that was originally in the bale when we started was straw, because we ended up baling our fields over there. And I think it ended up being kind of converted, but not really, so it has some kind of bug or problem with it where it won't wrap it because it's not pure grass. I think that might be what's going on, but let me know in the comments if you know anything about that, because I certainly don't. But anyways, we need to finish cutting all of these strips over here, and then we can deposit our harvest over there in the silage bin to await our sale later in the year. But I will continue cutting these off camera, because this is kind of the boring part. So let me get turned around, and then I'll cut you guys loose. There we go. Alright, we're finishing up our last little row of grass over here. Unfortunately, it's going in the wrong direction, but, you know, I gotta figure out a new pattern since we've kind of changed everything. I believe that ultimately we're going to end up continue pushing our grass operation further and further away. We might end up making all of these fields grass and just turn this entire section here into wheat, so that we can continue growing our chicken operation over here. Unfortunately, it takes quite a lot of... Oh, did we not get enough? Did we not get enough for our... We did, but again, it didn't wrap it. So that's weird. I think we'll end up turning all of this into wheat because we want our grass operation to be farther away because our mower moves much faster than the harvester does. So if we can make it so that our harvester doesn't have to go way far away to get our wheat harvest, I think that's probably the way to go. Let's go ahead and get all of these bales dropped off into our silage bin here, and hopefully they'll all go in there without any issues. Got to get the trailer selected, press the Y key. That will get us unloading our harvest here. Let me see. Which way do I need to turn this? I think it's opposite. Just want to make sure it's pointing in the right direction. There we go. And push that off. That'll go into the Silage Factory here. Yeah, they're all going in. Sweet. And then we press Y again to put that all back the way it's supposed to be. Now we can drop off our trailer setup here. I keep going past it. There we go. And we can drop off our mower over here. And now we can go this way over here to go park our tractor. I think the next thing that we're going to have to do is, I'm sorry. I almost always forget that we have to fertilize our grass fields so that we can make sure we get a maximum amount of harvest next time. We can fertilize these immediately after we cut it to get 100% fertilization, so we definitely want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and buy a bag of fertilizer just so we can make sure we have plenty and not have to drive all the way back over here to get fertilizer set up again. I should probably set my delivery point to be like right there in the courtyard. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to try to do that here in a second, assuming my goldfish memory doesn't make me forget between now and the time that we drive right over there, because that can happen. If I don't continue to talk about it, it'll jump out of my brain while we're sitting there refilling our thing here. So let's go ahead and do that now. I think right here in the middle is probably good. The keybind for this mod is Shift and Alt, and then you press S when you have the marker where you want it. So right there, everything that we get will now be delivered in an area right around here. So let's take our tractor over this way and we'll start fertilizing the grass fields over here so we can make sure that we're going to get a full-on 100% maximum yield harvest next time. Oh, I didn't send my Control Z. There we go. I forgot that I had reduced my spread last time because we only had like a little strip left over. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make OBS do time lapses for me. I think there's a way that it could happen, but the advanced scene switcher plugin that I'm using needs to have a little bit more functionality or a little different functionality added to it before that could really be a possibility. I'm able to do sort of a herky-jerky kind of time lapse with the way that it's set up now. It looks very much like you're just jumping from one thing to another rather than having a nice smooth time lapse, so I don't really want to start using it. But if the mod were changed in such a way that allowed me to have a little bit more fine-tuned control over certain features, I could make it so that I could do time lapses as I'm recording, and then you guys would get the benefit of that. So I posted a response to the advanced scene switcher forum over on the OBS forums, trying to see if there was some way of making it so that the software could be adjusted to maybe do what I want to try to do, and then maybe we could start getting some time lapses of this stuff rather than me putting cuts in, because I know for a lot of channels they put time lapses in, and you guys probably like to see that part so you can actually see the change as it's happening rather than just having, oh, all of a sudden the field is different now. So, I refuse to go back to doing video editing again because literally the only thing that I was using video editing for was putting my logo up and putting my overlays up and, the occasional time lapse when I was doing something that required it. But now the only thing that I really need video editing for now is the time lapse. And frankly, I don't want to go back to doing video editing just to put time lapses in. So sorry for those of you who are disappointed by that, but it pretty much doubles the production time to have to render a video after you edit it and all of that, because I don't have a computer that can do it like really, really fast. I have a decent gaming computer, but not a really good editing computer. So, you know, it basically takes me as long to render a video as it did to record it. So it really is a lot of time, extra time that's taken having to do that. And when I'm doing I'm down to 3 videos a day now, but when I'm doing that many videos a day, 3 to 5 videos in a day, depending on, you know, what I'm doing, that adds up to quite a long day of doing video stuff. So I'm really trying to avoid doing the video editing thing if at all possible. You know, maybe someday I'll get big enough to where I can hire somebody. Am I able to fertilize that now? Okay. Was that actually fertilizing? Huh. It was. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go and harvest all of that stuff. But anyways, I wasn't going to show you the entire fertilizing thing here. I just got lost in a little discussion about my video editing thing. But anyways, if I can figure out a way to use the software, because it's basically a pause unpause kind of thing, and you know, just pausing for X number of time and then unpausing for like a blip and then pausing again and just repeating that cycle over and over again, because a time lapse, all a time lapse is, it's basically just taking 1 frame out of every X number of frames to, you know, make it seem like time is going by much faster than it actually is. So, you know, if we can figure out a way to make it so that OBS is only recording little snippets and cutting out the rest, well, that's a time lapse, and we don't have to use video editing software to make that happen. We can just record it in a way that makes it a time lapse, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. But you know, the software the software itself doesn't provide that functionality, and the advanced scene switcher plugin that I'm using, which is amazing, it's relieved my workload quite a lot. I think it has a way of making it work, but with the way that the options are set up right now, it doesn't quite work the way I would need it to get nice smooth time lapses. I could do time lapses, but they would look like super fast snapshots rather than just increased speed of motion like you would normally see in a video. So anyways, that was a very long description, and we ended up, you know, fertilizing in real time, but you know, that works. I don't know what else to say about that. Let's get our fertilizer put away so we can advance time to probably September. I don't think we're going to need to do anything now. We have our grass fields fertilized, we have this field fertilized, and then when we replant our wheat, that'll be 100% fertilized. So we just need to get to the point where we're going to plant our wheat, and then we have 1 more grass cutting to get done before we can end out our year and sell off our silage. So we'll turn the tractor off. Let's just double check and make sure that our chickens, yep, they all have food. So we shouldn't have anything to do except advance time to September. I don't think we can do anything else until we plant our wheat over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to September. Okay, so now I should have checked the calendar before then, but yeah, we're in our first month of being able to plant our wheat. So let's grab our planter over here. We'll get our wheat planted as quickly as possible, and then we'll be able to advance to our final grass cutting. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna need seeds. So we're gonna buy 3 bags of seeds just to make sure we're good, and we'll buy 1 more bag of fertilizer. And I forgot that I had moved my delivery point, so that's good. Okay, let's get these all right here. Now we can just do a bunch of refilling. Get our seeds all filled up and our fertilizer all filled up. That way we don't have to fill that back up for quite a little while. I mean, it's not like these fields here are going to take very much, but I like to limit the number of times I have to stop and remember to do that. So if I can just fill them up now, I'd rather just fill them up now. Oh, but I didn't count on not using up all of the seed there. I'll try to remember to grab that when I'm done with these 2 fields here, but let's go ahead and get this done. I could set up my GPS system for this, but I don't really want to. Especially not for something this small. And then the other field's so curvy, we're not going to be able to use it over there anyway, so I'm just going to run up and down and get these done, and then we'll head over to the other field over there. So I'm sure some of you may have noticed that I failed to switch from grass to wheat in my planting, so now I have to go back and redo all this over again. And part of what made me realize that is my my fertilization didn't go any higher when I was doing all of that. So I just wasted all of that time and seed and fertilizer planting grass in an area that's supposed to have wheat. So yeah, I gotta go back over this again and fix it. So here we go. All right, finishing up the last little bit of field work over here. Forgot that I left that last little corner there, though. I gotta go back and fix that. Get that done, we'll get the cedar put away, and then we can advance to the final cutting of the year so we can go make some money. So is this now fully fertilized? Yeah, no, okay, so apparently applying fertilizer after the growth, you have to wait until, all right. I read in a website somewhere that you have to actually wait between 2 stages of growth before the 100% fertilization will actually happen. I guess we just kind of confirmed that, so the fertilizer situation made me look at the fact that, oh, I wasn't planting wheat, but at least this time I caught it before we went through months of growth and then found out, oh, it was grass. I've done that before, and that's not fun. So now we have our wheat planted. We have that done. How far are we from getting grass to be able to be cut? Let's just go check that out really quick. And then ideally, we'll get to the... I want to go... If we need to fertilize our wheat field so we can get as much wheat as we can. So yeah, next month, we're going to need to cut this. So let's go ahead and advance time to next month. Double check our chicken feed. That's pretty good so far. So we're going to advance to the next month. Okay. We'll grab our fertilizer over here so that we can get our wheat field fertilized and get the best possible yield out of our feed stock there. You know what? I'm not going to risk it. We're just going to buy another bag of fertilizer because I don't want to have to come back. Because it'll run out once we get over to the other field over there, and then I have to come back. So I'd rather just do it now, not have to worry about coming back for it. So we'll finish that. I will fertilize these fields, and then we'll get ready to advance, or we'll get ready to do our final cutting of the year. So yeah, let me get turned off that way. Get this turned off this way. Oh, come on, trying to get all the way over. I don't feel like I'm fertilizing the entire field. It looks kind of weird sometimes. All right. So are we? Yeah, we got most of it. Let's swing back around this way, and then we'll turn it off and kind of get this last little bit over here because I messed that up. Didn't mean to, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell when there's all this stuff in the way. It's not like the grass where it's super easy to tell where the fertilizer is hitting. It all looks kind of dark already. So let's get these guys over. Let's get this guy over here. Then we will grab our cutting setup and get our grass cut again so we can maximize our silage output for the year and hopefully have enough money to buy some more land because we need to start expanding our land our land setup because we don't have enough. We don't have enough to make enough grass to eventually support cows and support the number of chickens that I'd like to have. We're going to have like a lot of wheat field. All right, that should take care of all of that. Let's get this. Let's get the fertilizer put away. We'll grab our mower, and then we'll get started on our final cutting. So yeah, let's get over here. We'll turn around. Right there. Get that dropped off, and go grab our mower. Actually, let me double check and make sure. My brain only works halfway sometimes, so I just want to double check and make sure that this is actually going to be fully ready to harvest. All right, good, we're good. So we're going to grab the mower setup, and I'm not going to have you guys watch it again because we just did it at the beginning of the episode. So I will see you guys when we are done with our cutting and ready to deposit our harvest into the silage factory. Eventually, if I can get this to connect. Please? Please? Why are you being difficult? I'm having some kind of failure to understand here. There we go. All right, so yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get the cutting done, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, we are finishing up the last little bit of our field over here. Honestly, I'm not even going to worry about that last little patch. Well, maybe I will. I'm looking at the 83% here, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be enough to fill it up. All right, well, unfortunately, we're not going to have quite enough grass to get this completely full and get one more bale. Yeah, this grass over here isn't going to fill it up. Well, maybe it will. As I'm too busy looking at the number and not paying attention to actually driving the tractor, so there's always that too. We'll drive. I'd like to fill it. I'd like to get this last bale done, so let's go around the field here and see if maybe we can fill up our last little bale so it doesn't have to sit for next year. There we go. Sweet. All right, so now we have 8 bales instead of 7 this year. That makes life a little bit better for us because it's a little bit more money that we're going to be able to put into our pocket to, we're probably going to do some land acquisition. Probably going to do some land acquisition here, but first and foremost, we need to get ourselves lined up with that. We need to get the trailer selected and get the bales pushed back. And then we're going to have to advance time until we can get to, I'll do fertilizing next year. I don't feel like going back and doing another set of fertilizing. That takes a little bit. Get that stuff pushed off. All right, get our trailer reset. Let's double check our production chain here. We do have silage being made. We're gonna have upwards of 1 million liters of silage this year, so that's good. That's gonna be quite a lot of money available to us once we're ready to sell that here in December or January. Get that put off. Go ahead and get our tractor parked. So that way, that's pretty much it for the year for the tractor. We'll do some fertilizing in the next episode if I remember. I don't feel like doing it right now. Did a lot of fertilizing this episode, and I'm kind of done with it. So let's get our tractor parked over here. Get the tractor turned off. Double check our chickens to make sure we're good. Yeah, we're still good with that. But we do need to sell off some of our eggs because that's getting pretty full over there. So we'll grab our baling auto-loading trailer right here. Bring it around, get it picked up. Make sure that we have it set so that we'll pick up all the containers and not just full containers because its default setting is that one. So do some auto-loading here, and then hopefully we can get it to. I'm not even going to bother trying it. It had an issue where the unloading area was blocked for some reason, so we'll just drive the trailer over it and that'll sell it. Not my preferred method. I'd much rather just drop it off and let it go, but I don't know. We're having some kind of a collision issue with the unloading happening, so I'm not going to fight it. We'll just let it work. We'll just let it work this way. Finish selling, please. There we go. Made ourselves a cool $16,000 off of that. That's what we like to see, and it would help if I could remember where things get parked. All right, so now eggs are done. Food is good for another month or 2. I think we can get another 2 months out of that. So let's go ahead and, well, let's check it. Hold on, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's double check our prices for the silage. I need to know exactly which month it's going to be best to do. We're looking for, we can probably do December. So let's go ahead and advance time to November and December. 8 o'clock in the morning is probably good. Let's double check our chickens. Ooh, they barely have enough. We're going to set our silage. Well, where's my production facility? Here. We're going to set our silage to selling. So that way, when time passes enough for that, we can do that. Let's grab our feed trailer here so we can replenish our chicken feed. Swing this around like that. And we'll get this filled up with wheat. And go deposit it with our chickens over there. All right. As I said before, we have enough feed to get us through most of the year, but not quite. So we're going to end up having to buy a pallet or 2 to get us to the end. But, you know, that's just kind of the way it works sometimes. Grass does not grow in December, February, or January, so we will definitely be waiting until next year to do another cut. which is fine because we're pretty much at the end of an episode now. We need to finish getting all of this done. We need to get the eggs over here sold and then get our silage sold to see how much money we're going to end the year with. And then we can look at maybe buying some more plots of land because we need to start shifting our grass operation over so we can make more room for wheat. Well, that actually rolled for quite a little bit. So I'm spacing out and not doing the things I just said I was supposed to do. We need to go pick up. I'm in a hurry to get the silage sold so we can see how much money we made. But first and foremost, we need to make sure we get all of our products sold for the year. So we'll go back and do another pickup of our chicken eggs. There we go. And then we'll go get these sold off. And then we'll advance time to next month so we can see how much money we made. There we go. Now we're just waiting to see what we did for that. We'll get everything parked, we'll advance some time, and find out how much money we made. Eventually, as we wait for the eggs to slowly be sold. Come on, let's go. We got stuff to do. Okay, very nice. Another $11,000 worth of product. Get that put away, get the tractor turned off. All right, drum roll please. Let's see how much money we are gonna make off of our silage this year. Yes. $383,000 is what we're up to now. We could probably afford a pretty, I don't know. We could afford a harvester at this point, probably. Let's check out our options for that. Because we're gonna need, we could buy a harvester and probably buy some land. We don't need the big ones. I think we'll go with, hold on. So this one can do up to 8.5 meters versus 7.6 meters. So I think we're going to go with this New Holland. I think we're actually going to buy this. I wasn't expecting to buy a harvester so soon, but we made a lot of money. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. I'm going to make sure that we have all the correct things set up the way that they're supposed to be. Make sure we have the GPS set up on that. We will buy that guy, and then for the combination, we will buy this guy and make sure that our working speed is maxed out so we can get the maximum amount of effort out of that. All right, we now have a harvester available to us. Wasn't really expecting that, but that's kind of how it worked out. And then I guess now, well, I don't know. We need to make sure we have enough money available to buy feed for the chickens because that's going to run out pretty quick. But yeah, let's go get this parked over here out of the loading area. And then yeah, let's see what let's at least check out and see what we want to buy next. Get that turned off. And then, see, this next plot of land is 140, 118, 140, 180. Yeah, we're a little bit of ways from being able to buy new property, but you know, we're making some significant progress here. I think what we'll do is we'll slowly start buying these properties over here so that we can turn all of this into grass. All of this can be wheat. And then we'll kind of see once we're actually have full grass production over here, full wheat production over here, how many animals we can support. And then if we need to start expanding maybe this way into these fields, then we can start looking at that. But anyways, for now, we're going to go ahead and be done. I think that was a pretty successful year. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button if you did so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a continuing commitment, you can leave a tip in the form of that thanks button if you'd still like to support the channel. Direct contributions are greatly appreciated and a critical component to helping to turn this into a full-time gig. Getting a little bit of graphical lag there, probably from some kind of mod problem. Full-time gig YouTube thing is the dream, so please consider supporting the channel. Again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys have been having a lot of fun building this farm with me, and I'll see you for the next one.